Alright, welcome back to my channel, Baseball Talk with Nick Morgan. So today, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the 10 best players from the 2010 to 2019 decade. Now, as we get into this next calendar year, we're going to start a new decade worth of baseball, 10 years of amazing things to come with some great players and some new emerging superstars, as we currently have great prospects in the system. However, we're going to go ahead today, reflect on these past 10 seasons, the top 10 players, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. We got some great guys on this list, some amazing stats, huge names. You guys all would have probably heard of each and every one of them, and I'm really excited for this because, you know, when I was younger, I was only like 6 years old in 2010, so I didn't really get to see a whole lot of these guys come up and start, and some of these guys were almost out of the league by the time I was like a big fan of baseball. But for the most part, this is really cool, and I'm excited. So let's get into it with the top 10 players of the 2010 to 2019 decade. Falling in your number 10 spot is Jose Altuve, second baseman for the Houston Astros. He debuted back in 2011 and since has hit .315 with 128 home runs, 538 RBIs, 254 stolen bases, and an .827 OPS and 4,985 at-bats. Now, this past season, he had exactly 500 at-bats, in which he hit .298 with 31 home runs, 74 RBIs, 6 stolen bases, and a .903 OPS. He also appeared in the World Series this year with the Astros, and he won the World Series back in 2017. We know Jose Altuve is amazing. He's known for his speed, his contact, and he does show some ridiculous power at some times as well. This guy is amazing, and he's definitely one of the best second basemen in the game right now, but he's the top 10 player from this past decade, for sure. Coming in at number 9, we have one of many pitchers that found themselves on this list, and it's left-handed pitcher starter from the Boston Red Sox, Chris Sale. He debuted back in 2010, and in his career has pitched in 312 games, racking up a 109 and 73 record with a 3.03 ERA and 1,629.2 innings pitched, with 2,007 strikeouts and a 1.03 WHIP. Now, in 2019, he didn't have a great year, but that is okay. In 25 games, he had a 6-11 record with a 4.40 ERA and 147 and a third innings pitched. He also had 218 strikeouts. This guy whips up batters like crazy. And then he has a 1.09 whip this past year. So Chris Sale is definitely a top 10 guy from this past decade. He had some amazing years at the beginning of the decade and actually recently as well, but just 2019 wasn't his best year. I cannot wait to see what he does in 2020 and if he can keep it up and be one of the top 10 guys this next decade also. At number 8, you have San Francisco Giants catcher Buster Posey. He actually debuted in 2009, and in 2019, he had 405 at-bats, hitting .257, with 7 home runs, 38 RBIs, 0 stolen bases, and a 688 OPS. Now, his career, he's a .302 hitter with 140 home runs, 673 RBIs, 23 stolen bases, and a .826 OPS and 4,575 at-bats. So much like Chris Sale, not a great 2019, but the beginning of his career was very good, and actually he had some good years in the middle of the decade. Recently, he's been a little okay. He's been shaky. Not his Buster Posey form when he was in his prime, but this guy is still very good. Coming in at the number 8 spot here, again, your San Francisco Giants catcher, Buster Posey. So coming in at number 7, Detroit Tigers current first baseman Miguel Cabrera. He debuted back in 2003, and in his career, he has a .315 average with 477 home runs, 1,694 RBIs, 38 stolen bases, and a .935 OPS in 8,949 at-bats. Now, in this past year, he had 493 at-bats, hitting .282 with 12 home runs, 59 RBIs, no stolen bases, and a 744 OPS. So, not his best year in 2019, but he does have an amazing career. So some great numbers. Will definitely be in the Hall of Fame one day, and he's a top 10 player from this decade. You know, he had some very good power when he was younger. Still has some good power now, but only hitting 12 home runs this past year. I think he might come to the year of retirement very soon, but this guy is amazing and the number 7 guy in the 2010 to 2019 decade in Major League Baseball. At number 6 on this list, we actually have the only player not currently active. Adrian Beltre was a former third baseman. He played with the Texas Rangers when he finished his career off, but he retired a few years back, and he debuted in 1998. This guy did phenomenal in 11,068 at-bats. He hit .286 with 477 home runs, 1,707 RBIs, and then 121 stolen bases, as well as an .819 OPS. Adrian Beltre was phenomenal, a great third baseman defensively, had a huge bat, came in really clutch, a lot of power. This guy's number 6. He's beaten out a lot of great active players on this list, and his guy was just phenomenal at what he did. I got to watch him a little bit growing up and actually like understanding baseball and following it as a big fan, but I wish I got to see more of his career. This guy was a stud. Going to the top 5 now of 2019, coming in that number 5 spot is Cincinnati Reds first baseman Joey Votto. He debuted back in 2007, and in 2019, he hit .261 with 15 home runs, 47 RBIs, 5 stolen bases, and a .768 OPS, and 525 at-bats. He is a career .307 hitter in 6,088 at-bats with 284 home runs, 944 RBIs, 79 stolen bases, and a .941 OPS. Now, injuries gotten to him a little bit here and there these past couple of years, and he hasn't had his best seasons in 2019 and in 2018, but this guy nonetheless has been super clutch, and he's been very good with the Cincinnati Reds. He is easily a top 10, easily a top 5. This guy is very, very good at what he does. He's probably even higher up if we just make a list of position players alone. There's a lot of pitchers in between him now and the number 1 guy, which I think we all know who that is. But nonetheless, Joey Votto is amazing, the number 5 guy in the top 10 list of players from 2010 to 2019. Coming in at number 4, 2019 World Series champion, starting pitcher for the Washington Nationals, Max Scherzer. He debuted back in 2008, and in his World Series winning year, he pitched in 27 games in the regular season with an 11-7 record, 2.92 ERA, 172.1 innings pitched, 243 strikeouts, and a 1.03 WHIP. Now, he is a career 170 wins and 89 losses in 365 games with a 3.20 ERA, 2,290 innings pitched, 2,692 strikeouts, 1.09 WHIP, and he is most definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame. He will probably hit 3,000 strikeouts as well before he retires. I'm assuming that's like 2 seasons away until he hits that big mark. But this guy is phenomenal. He's got great stuff. Mad Max Scherzer, just everything about him is super cool. And he is phenomenal on the mound. This guy is very good at what he does. He's got a lot of craft, and he's easily a top pitcher and player in this game as a whole just this year alone, not only in this past decade. But Max Scherzer is amazing, coming in at number 4 on this list again. We are in the top 3 players, and coming in at that number 3 spot is Justin Verlander. He's like a fine wine. He debuted back in 2005, and in his career has pitched in 453 games, in which he has won 225 and lost 129. So almost 100 more wins than losses. That's ridiculous. He has a 3.33 ERA in 2,982 innings with 3,006 strikeouts. He hit that big mark this past year, and a 1.14 WHIP. In 2019, he had a 21-6 record in 34 games with a 2.58 ERA, 223 innings pitched, 300 strikeouts, and a 0.80 WHIP. This guy's won a lot of Cy Young awards. He's very good at what he does. Again, much like Scherzer, he's got a lot of craft. He's been in this game for a long time, and he just gets better as he gets older. This guy is amazing to watch and just so fun to see on the mound. I'm glad I got to see him in person this past August, and he's easily, again, one of the best pitchers in the game with Max Scherzer. And the number 2 guy on this list. And I'm just really excited. This guy's a lot of fun just to watch and have him go out there every game. You know that he's going to put on a show. Justin Verlander, your number 3 guy in this list for the decade. Los Angeles Dodgers ace Clayton Kershaw comes in at number 2 on this list for the top 10 players this past decade. He's listed as the top pitcher as well, and he debuted back in 2008. In 347 career games, he has won 169 and lost 74 with a 2.44 ERA in 2,274 and 2/3 innings pitched. He has also racked up 2,464 strikeouts and a 1.01 career WHIP. Now, in this past year, he pitched in 29 games with a 16-5 record, 3.03 ERA, 178 1/3 innings pitched, 189 strikeouts, and a 1.04 WHIP. This guy is amazing, especially in the regular season. Postseason is a little different story, but that's okay. This is all based off of just the career as a whole and in the regular season. But Clayton Kershaw is definitely one of the best pitchers to be in this game, and it's just a lot of fun. This guy is a great southpaw. He is just really good at what he does, and he excels in every situation. And I just really like Clayton Kershaw. He definitely deserves his number 2 spot, right behind the number 1 player of the decade and one of the best players in the game ever. It's no surprise here that Mike Trout is your best player of the 2010 to 2019 decade. He's one of the best center fielders to ever step foot onto a baseball field, and he is the best player right now in the game actively. This guy is amazing, and in his career, he's a .305 hitter and 4,340 at-bats. He has racked up 285 home runs with 752 RBIs, 200 stolen bases, and a 1.060 OPS. This guy is a five-tool player right here. He's got speed, he's got power, he's got contact, he's a great fielder. This guy just does everything you need him to do when you need him to do it. Now, he has had some injuries recently, but it doesn't matter. This guy is unstoppable, very good at what he does, the best player in baseball right now. In 2019, he hit 291 in 470 at-bats with 45 home runs, 104 RBIs, 11 stolen bases, and a 1.083 OPS. This guy is one of the best players ever, and he's one of my favorite players to watch, and just everything about Mike Trout is awesome. He's a great person outside the game, and on the field. This guy is one of the best to ever play. I can't keep saying that, but it's true. This guy is just so good. He is the best player of this past decade. He will be a Hall of Famer, possibly even unanimous. I would vote him in unanimously, but Mike Trout, your number one guy from 2010 to 2019. Alright guys, that's going to end it for this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Peace.